Okay, scene, a coffee shop in Berlin, time 1937, setting mid-afternoon on a pleasant summer day in a respectable Berlin coffee house. At Rise, the characters are seated at various tables around the shop. Ruth and Sigrid are at center. Dieter and Kurt are upright, looking toward Annaliese and Elke up center. A lone man sits right, reading a paper. Bernhard and Vera sit center left.
And I was telling Liesel just yesterday. You know Liesel, don't you? Yes. Well, I was telling her that my Hans is having the same trouble. He tries so hard at school, but Herr Weber just doesn't seem to like him. I don't know about that man. He has such an odd way about him. And Liesel's Eric is such a bright boy. I don't know why he should struggle. Both boys are so smart and they study hard. I don't think Herr Weber is very fair to them at all. What about Peter? Is he doing well?
Quite well.
Oh, he's rather a quiet boy. Perhaps Herr Weber prefers quiet boys. Hans and Eric are quite the pair, always playing their little jokes. Do you know the other day they were teasing the neighbor girl down the way? The Jewish one. They were following her and telling her she'd be going away soon. Her father came out and started scolding them. His face was so red.
And you're proud of this?
Well, naturally, I had to scold him as well, but it was quite funny and quite true, if my husband's correct. And he always is. He told me in 1934 that things would be better for Germany, and, well, look where we are now. Your husband has a good job in the factory now, and he didn't have that back then.
It was hard for everyone after the war.
But it didn't have to be, did it? If not for the French and the English, it wouldn't have been so bad. And the Jews, they were behind it, weren't they? They always are. If you control the money, you control everything. And everyone knows they control money. Does that bother you? The Jews?
It's not the Jews. The way you say it, it sounds vulgar.
Say what? Jews? Jews? When I call them that? Jews. Jews. Jews.
Please don't.
Why on earth not?
Please.
Did you hear that? Jews, she says.
Oh, what? Let them talk.
I don't like that kind of talk. She sounds so, I don't know.
Little talk never hurt anybody.
What about that one? What do you think her name is?
Why not go ask her?
Oh, I couldn't.
You couldn't. Why not? Look at them. They're practically drooling.
They're not.
They are. Come on.
They approach the girls.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
May we join you?
We don't have any more chairs.
Well, now, that's hardly an obstacle for two brave men of the 9th Infantry.
He takes 2 chairs from an unoccupied table and brings them over. Elke and Annaliese scoot their chairs closer to make room. Kurt sits, Dieter hesitates, then joins him.
I remember when I was a girl before the war, we never worried about anything. There was plenty of food, nice clothes. Father had a good job. We had anything we could want. We were lucky that Father didn't have to go fight. He wanted to, mind you, but he had a heart condition and they couldn't take him. And when his father promoted him to president and retired, he didn't lose his job like so many men did. What did your father do?
He fought.
I meant before the war, of course.
He was a farmer. We did well until the war, but he was killed at Saint Mihiel, and my brother died of the flu not long after. I mean, if I hadn't married Carl, I don't know what would have happened to me and Mother.
I didn't know that. But I should have guessed. I thought I heard country in your accent. Funny, after all this time, I never thought to ask. But even though I haven't always seen eye to eye with my brother, I am glad he was able to help you and your poor mother. How is she, your mother?
She passed away last fall. I'm joking. She's well.
And you say I'm vulgar. Really?
I'm sorry. My sense of humor can be very dark.
I would say so. I can see why Carl is so fond of you. He says the most shocking things. Does he shock you?
Like, I can't say he ever has. Surprised, maybe, but mostly he makes me laugh or think, sometimes both.
Well, I like a good laugh, but too much thinking is not a good thing in a woman.
So I've been told.
What are two lovely ladies such as yourselves doing here alone without your boyfriends to protect you from soldiers like myself?
We don't have boyfriends.
Oh, now I can't believe that. Surely they're lined up around the block for a single smile.
So, are you from around here? I mean, girls as pretty as you must be from somewhere beautiful and classy, like Paris.
Have you been to Paris?
Well, no, but I've heard it's beautiful. Like you.
Unlike my dear friend here, I have been to Paris, and he is quite correct. It is as stunningly beautiful as you.
May I?
No.
I apologize. I'm not usually so forward.
I can see that.
I'm sorry.
I never did like school, but of course it was always fun to chat with my girlfriends. But the lectures were so boring.
It could be. I did like history, though.
Oh no, history was almost as boring as math. All those names and dates, not for me.
I always saw it as a story. It's much more fun that way.
A story? Really?
Well, yeah, it's the story of us, of Germany, of all humankind. It's where we came from. It helps us see where we're going.
Maybe, but to me it's all places and dates.
Don't you want to know the story of Germany?
I know as much as I need.
She knows as much as she needs. I wish I were so wise.
Don't eavesdrop, dear. Let them talk. And we can talk.
I'm sorry. I've just been so on edge. You know, I can't think straight sometimes.
I know. But it's all right. It will pass.
Will it?
Please, tell me about yourself. Are you still in school? Do you like movies? Music? Dogs?
Dogs.
What do you like?
You're very shy. How will you ever be a soldier?
He's brave when he needs to be. He can shoot any French pig who comes along.
French pig. This from the man who says Paris is beautiful.
Annie.
Just because Paris is beautiful doesn't mean it isn't infested with swine.
Infested? Can you really have an infestation of swine?
You're very disagreeable.
Annie, please.
No, but you can't have a sonder of swine. The younger pigs are a drove.
Why do you know that?
History and literature were my favorites. I've always loved reading. It's amazing how much one will teach you about the other.
But history is so boring. I've never had much time for reading. There's always so much to do.
You have a maid. I'm certain you have time during the day to read.
After shopping and calling on friends and making sure the housework is done correctly.
How many dresses do you need?
You represent your family, your husband. You have a duty to be modest, healthy, and beautiful, the model of German womanhood.
Wasn't that on a poster?
Really?
Should you even be shopping for new dresses when we're all meant to be modest?
My dresses are modest and flattering without being flashy. We aren't French after all.
Would French wine be a sonder or a sondeur, perhaps?
Un sondeur de port.
Oui, comme ça.
Très bien.
What's this?
We're speaking French.
I can see that, but why?
Didn't you just say Paris is beautiful?
But full of degenerates. Why speak their language?
It is the language of love.
Annie.
I like that. Language of love.
You haven't heard that.
I have, but I still like it.
La langue d'amour.
Bien sûr, Shari.
Can you believe this? 2 minutes ago she hated him, now they're speaking French.
Do you speak French?
I'd almost rather speak Polish. Almost.
Why doesn't Carl take you out to buy you some new dresses?
You know we're saving. This is no time to spend money on frivolous things like dresses. I have several perfectly good dresses, and it costs much less to buy the fabric, make new ones, or repair the ones I have already.
How very frugal.
Shouldn't my spending be as modest as my appearance?
You should be supporting the German economy.
Of course.
What do you mean, of course?
Do you know how much Carl makes?
Don't be vulgar.
It isn't vulgar, it's reality. We're better off than we were, but even with his job, Carl doesn't make as much as you seem to think. We keep Hannah on out of obligation. Her husband was sent away for being work shy.
That's hardly your responsibility. He should have taken the job that he was offered.
It didn't pay a living wage, and Hannah was pregnant and couldn't work.
He should have found a way.
He tried. There were no jobs. He was going to try to find work in Switzerland when they arrested him.
And how was he going to get Switzerland if he was so poor?
You're being very unkind. You don't know him.
I know his type. That's good enough for me.
His type? His type, she says.
Vera, darling, listen to me. Drink your coffee. Their talk doesn't concern us.
Did you hear her? She knows so much about everyone.
So does Miriam.
Miriam doesn't have this one's influence.
Influence?
Miriam can talk. Just let her. She can't hurt us. This one can. She doesn't. They don't like us. They don't like us. And what stops them?
Darling.
What stops them? I have a cousin in England. We should see her.
They don't like us in England either.
They don't like us anywhere. England, at least, doesn't have these laws.
We're not in danger.
Yet. Not yet. But soon. You're a doctor, Bernhard. When did you last see a patient? You're a doctor and you empty garbage at the hospital. And you're lucky to have that. In England, you'd be a doctor still.
Maybe.
Maybe? What maybe? They don't have these laws. Let's see my cousin. Let's go. Soon. Tomorrow. Now.
Drink your coffee.
Promise me. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll talk about it.
Promise me.
Drink your coffee.
What is your name, my dear?
Elke.
I'm charmed, my dear. Elke. Lovely.
So
Oh, that's not your style.
you're right.
I know.
You're a very interesting girl.
Oh, interesting.
I like you. You're smart.
And you are beautiful.
Is that all you see?
What more do I need to see?
Beauty is more than just looks. I mean, I'm sorry, Elke. You are very beautiful. I'm not trying to say that you aren't, but Annaliese, you are beautiful and very smart, and that makes the beauty mean more.
Well,
That's certainly a viewpoint.
Yes, it is.
What is a boy like you doing joining the army?
I want to go to university. This is the only way.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Well, now,
coward.
Coward? How? He's going, like it or not. Sounds pretty brave to me.
you'll want to keep that to yourself, though. Lieutenant won't like that.
I'll go, and I'll do my duty. That's all he wants.
Still, keep that to yourself.
When do you go?
Friday.
Then we'll fill the next 3 days, and you'll write me while you're gone.
Annie.
You will, won't you?
Yes. Every day.
He takes her hand.
Well done, old man.
Hannah is more than my maid. She's my friend. Her husband is my friend. I don't want to hear this.
How can you call them friends? What do they do? How do they contribute to the Reich?
The Reich? Do you hear yourself? You put the Reich above your friends?
You don't?
How can I? What is the Reich? The cult of Hitler, that's all. What's that compared to caring for real Germans?
Are you saying that I'm not a real German?
Not at all. But Hannah and her husband are as German as you or me or these people or them or him. Are they the Reich?
We are all the Reich.
Are we?
We are Germans. We are Aryan. The Reich is Aryan.
And what is Aryan?
You ask too many questions. We are Aryan. We are the Reich. We will reign for 1,000 years. It is our right and our duty. Those who question it have no place here.
Secret police enter. They have words with a man seated alone. He unwillingly exits with them. He's being arrested.
We will make Germany great again.